everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to another awesome episode of Youth Connect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I hope you guys are excited for another amazing episode. Just so you guys know, for anybody who is waiting for Nibras, he is unable to make it today. But don't worry, we have your back because we always know that we always have each other's backs. So you will still get some entertainment news. But for those who don't know what Youth Connect is, because I bet you're wondering, what is Youth Connect? Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. Everyone here is all advocates for all abilities, and as broadcasters, entertainers, we want to be included in opportunities for acting, directing, writing, and even doing music and as speakers. Did you know many of us already have our own podcasts, YouTube channels, and websites? Make sure to please check us out a little bit more if you ever have the time. But I know it is going to be a show that you are going to love. You've already met my other co-hosts. We got Kevin, we got Jeffrey, we got Joshua. But first up, we always have to go first into some gaming news. Okay, guys. So first thing on gaming news, obviously, is always have to do the video game of the week. Now, what is video game of the week? Well, basically, it's a game that is either come out recently, is coming out, or is soon to be released. And trust you me, guys, this game I have personal experience on, and I have absolutely loved the series ever since it came out. Can I introduce you to the amazing world and game of Octopath Traveler 2? So, what is Octopath Traveler 2? Well, it is a story, not just one story, but 8 different stories. And the story takes place in Cilicia, a land comprising an eastern and western continent divided by the sea. It is a bustling era wherein large vessels navigate busy sea routes, and the power of steam engines and steam in general gives birth to new technologies. Some people thrill to glamorous stars of the stage and industry, while others are brought to tears by war, plague, and poverty. In this faraway realm, 8 travelers hailing from different regions venture forth for their own reasons, and you step into their shoes and explore the land as you see fit. I have played Octopath Traveler 2 for quite a long time now, guys, and let me just tell you that this game is absolutely amazing. This game follows the same premise as a usual kind of like RPG standpoint, but not having just one story, but 8 different stories. And all 8 characters have their own unique personalities, their traits, and you know what? They all sometimes come together like they have crossed paths. This game is definitely a bang for your buck because there is tons of content, tons of bosses, tons of amazing music, and this is actually something that they boast about called 2D HD, where they have used the beautiful kind of like shading that you would get on a beautiful AAA game, like for example, Final Fantasy, and add it into a 2D environment. So basically, it looks super beautiful while still being like a retro design. This game is fantastic. I've been playing it so much. There is so much uniqueness. You'll feel sad. You'll feel happy. Some characters are going for revenge after having their wife and daughter murdered. Or how about a huntress that is going to collect the elementals to save her town from calamity? Or a warrior, a samurai warrior who is going to bring a land of peace and acceptance and negotiation, but has to stop his previous leader of death and destruction. There are so many great stories. There's even one about a merchant. You might be thinking, that's kind of weird, a merchant as a character, but it actually works really well. And they all have their unique traits, like the thief can steal from people, the merchant can buy stuff off people. It's a really good game. There's tons of content, tons of cool things to check out. And you know what? If you like old JRPG games like that, like the old Final Fantasy series, I recommend that you check it out. Anyways, though, this has been my video game of the week. But next up, we have Kevin for some all important news.
Hello. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect with me, Kevin Aruja. For now, let's go to our headlines. The Taste of the Danford set to return this summer for the first time since 2019. Current and former councillors said they are exploring a run to become Toronto's next mayor. The TTC bringing back tickets for evasion in late March. And Raptors waive Juancho Hernan Gomez signing guard with Will Barton. Toronto's beloved East End Street Festival, Taste of the Danford, is returning this year after 3 years of cancellation due to pandemic restrictions and logistical issues last summer. The Toronto Danford councillor Paula Fletcher said that the local Greektown BIA had voted to hire an event planner to make sure the festival that took place. In 2022, organizers said they were forced to cancel the festival because of a short timeline to adapt to changes to making a Danford Avenue during the pandemic. After 2 years of pandemic relation cancellation in 2020 and 21, the festival was on track to return last year, but it was ultimately canceled in June because of logistical issues that the Greektown BIA said would put the event at a too great at risk of not being as successful as in the past. Two names with experience at City Hall are seriously considering throwing their hats in the ring to become the next mayor of Toronto. In a statement, Councillor Brad Radford said that he was assembled an exploratory committee with more than a dozen advisors. They include conservative political strategist, navigator executive, former councillor and the TTC chair Karen Stintz, and liberal strategist Bob Lupinski. While she was just stepped away from the City Hall months ago, she said she remains passionate about Toronto and sees several areas where things could be better. She pointed to the lack of ability of cell phone service on the subway system and said housing would also be a strong focus for her. Meanwhile, yet another former councillor announced he was entering the race. Rob Davis, who served as a councillor in the former city of York and on Toronto City Council after amalgamation, said he will be running. Tory's last day on the job was February 17th. Deputy Mayor Jennifer McKelvey has since assumed some of his powers and duties and will carry them out until the new mayor takes office. She has said she will not run to become mayor for herself. 3 years after the TTC hit the brake on fine for fare evasion, the network is looking to get enforcement back on trade to address what officials has become a huge problem on some routes. Sorry. There is a sense of disorder that's going on in the TTC. A sense of anything goes, Councillor and TTC board chair John Burnside said. In a report that's set to go before the board on Tuesday, the TTC said it planned to reintroduce the practice, which was paused in 2020 due to the pandemic, by late March as part of its overall fare recovery strategy, as it believes 13% of customers are not paying. While the ticket itself will cost you $235 if you're caught on the transit without proof or payment, Burnside said he believes it's not just the steep fine that will deter fare evasion. The TTC said that from June 2019 to February 2020, fare inspectors issued an average of $1,800 tickets per month. However, the agency said that due to the culture change its revenue protection department is going through, it expects that the number of tickets issued will decrease significantly. And on sports, the Toronto Raptors have added some depth at guard. He was traded to Washington in the offseason after he scored 14.7 points per game in the 71 starts for the Nuggets in the 2021-22 campaign. Barton has averaged 11.4 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 2.7 assists, and 25.5 minutes in 663 games. He's a career 35.5% three-point shooter and has shot 38% from beyond the arc so far this season. Hernan Gomez, who signed a one-year, $2.2 million deal with the Raptors last summer, has averaged 2.9 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 14.6 minutes and 42 games this season. He has averaged 5.0 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 15.5 minutes in 339 games across his 7-year career. In weather, Toronto is bracing for a blast of winter weather that is set to hit the city this evening and last into Saturday. The GTA is currently under a winter storm warning with 20 to 30 centimeters, about 11.81 in, of snow expected to fall between Friday evening and Saturday morning. Officials are advising those who don't have to venture out this evening to stay home or to take public transit where possible. People are also being reminded to leave themselves extra time to get around, to leave more space between vehicles, and to drive more slowly if they're on the roads. The remainder of Saturday and Sunday would have a high of +4 and lows of -1. For the interesting fact of the week, I'm going to tell you what's my most favorite fruits that came to one of my favorite. It has to be orange. Yes, I love oranges. So what's orange? Oranges are a great fruit, and most people absolutely love them. Whether it's drinking orange juice, eating it slice by slice, or even juggling with them, or you can eat it by possibly peeling off their orange skin. They're one of the world's favorite citrus fruits, apart from being high in fiber and potassium. Oranges are known as a delicious source of vitamin B and vitamin C. In fact, there are a few surprising health benefits of eating oranges. Besides being delicious, orange can help us live healthier longer by preventing cancer. Oranges are loaded with vitamin C, which is an antioxidant that helps defend our body against cell damage. Oranges contain high amounts of fiber, which help your digestive tract to stay healthy. Eating oranges every day can improve the digestive system and lower stomach um, acidity. Acid, sorry. The vitamin C contained in oranges keeps your gums healthy and breath fresh. The word for orange made its way into the English language in the 1300s. However, the name for orange as a color that didn't appear in English until the 1500s. That means the fruit came before the color. Another interesting fact about oranges, the name of the orange fruit in German, which is Apfelsine, means apple from China, which is where it originate. When many of us think about an orange, we think of a typical orange colored fruit. But not all oranges are orange. Often when oranges are grown near the tropics, they are green in color, but don't worry though, green oranges are still delicious. The world loves eating fruit, and oranges are one of the most popular fruits. But did you know it's estimated that over three-quarters of oranges grown are destined to be squeezed and drink as one and only orange juice? Oranges originally came from Asia, eventually making their way to Europe and Africa. Oranges finally arrived in Americas when Christopher Columbus brought seeds with him on his voyage to the New World. Today, most of all oranges are produced from North and South America. So include oranges in your everyday diet. That's all we have time for today, folks. Now I'm sending back to you, Aiden.
I gotta say, Kevin, you know what? I absolutely love oranges because you know what they have? They make delicious orange juice and they're high in vitamin C, so they're really healthy for the body. And also, guys, I do recommend please be very careful if you are planning to go out today. It is going to be a pretty wild snowstorm of about 23 centimeters, so it's quite a bit. So just be careful and stay warm. Very important, guys. Now, for you, Joshua, and you, Jeff, what did you guys think of Kevin's news?
very delicious news. I might have an orange later.
Ooh, that sounds absolutely delicious. Fresh orange. They're
Hmm.
juicy and they are absolutely so much fun to peel.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And now we are going to move on to our second gaming news. So, if you guys remember, I actually talked about this before. Remember how we said that the Pokemon series was going to wrap up after their 25-year-long journey? Well, guess what? We got more stuff. And the Pokemon series is going to be releasing kind of like a short series of farewell episodes. And in each of them, the duo will be visiting old friends from across the Pokemon world. However, this is the interesting part. It sounds like the final episode before the show hands off the torch to the new protagonists Liko and Roy won't focus on Ash's relationships with a friend, but a rival. And you know who it is? Well, guess what? It is going to be Gary, who started his own journey the same day Ash and Pikachu did in the show's pilot back in 1998. And he's going to be making a comeback. So apparently, this episode is going to be called Rainbow and the Pokemon Master. And thank you to the telemarketers, I think they're called. But specifically, we should say thank you to Comic Book because they are the ones who kind of grabbed it from Japanese TV Guide. And apparently, it includes descriptions of new episodes in the upcoming month. And it says that Ash will reunite with Gary after returning to his home in Pallet Town. You know, it's been 25 years since Ashes went back to Pallet Town. And in the end of the episode, he's going to go back to Pallet Town to visit old friends and even his mom. But apparently, this is going to be quite interesting because Gary and Ash are going to have a conversation and apparently might have a battle for old time's sake. But you never know because apparently it is a rough translation. They're still trying to figure out what it is. But I think it's great of the Pokemon series to kind of wrap up the friendships with Ash. Because we've had Pokemon Black, we've gone to Pokemon White, we've gone to Pokemon Sword and Shield, we've gone to Pokemon Omega Ruby. We even have many characters that Ash has met, rivals, sometimes friends. It's a mix of everybody, and you're going to see all of them in this last series of Ash going back. Well, he's going backwards from his journey back to the start. This is going to be interesting though, because you know what? We have not seen Gary in a long, long time. And you know what? It's going to be really cool to see him. Anyways, though, this is some pretty interesting news, but I can't hog all the attention because next up we got Joshua, and Joshua has with us some good story news and, of course, your very favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to You Connect Now for a good news story. For 3 hours, doctor continued CPR on toddler with no pulse until life returned. When 3-year-old Waylon Sanders arrived at the hospital, he was already legally dead and had been for a while. Found face down in an icy backyard swimming pool, on the Ontario's toddler body temperature was so low that paramedics thermometers couldn't get a reading. He had no pulse. Nevertheless, a team at Charlotte Eleanor Engelhart Hospital in Petrolia, Ontario, performed CPR for 3 hours without stopping, while simultaneously using other methods to warm his frozen body. After 3 hours of compressing his chest to artificially pump blood to his brain and other organs, Wayne's heart was restarted and kept on keeping on. They had a cycle of people providing CPR in Petrolia. They had people warming him with many different techniques, said Dr. Janice Tijensen, director of the Pediatric Critical Care Unit at Children's Hospital London Health Sciences Centre in Ontario, where Wayland was rushed after his heart restarted. There was a big team helping him, then keeping him comfortable as his organs started to heal, then allowing him to wake up. He's succeeded all except expectations, Tijensen said. Tijensen told CBC News. Movies and TV either show CPR working after less than a minute or never working, but in reality, CPR can revive people who had their heart stopped for tens of thousands of minutes. CPR is not a complicated procedure and can be learned and practiced in simple courses often offered by local schools and firehouses. It's possible you could save someone's life too if you're the only one who knows how to perform it. Now for another good news story. Students raised $270 so 80-year-old janitor can retire from Texas high school. $270,000 so 80-year-old janitor can retire from Texas high school. High school seniors managed to secure $250,000 for their sweet 80-year-old janitor who had come out of retirement after his rent went up. The money was raised through a GoFundMe, which started out as a simple goal of $10,000, but quickly took on a goal of its own. Several seniors at Castleberg High School in Texas noticed their school had a new janitor, Mr. James, an 80-year-old former retiree whose rent had gone up 400 and needed a job to support it. Believing they could use their knowledge of the internet and social media to help out, they got an idea to open a GoFundMe to help an 80-year-old Mr. James get back to doing 80-year-old things. A single TikTok video was posted by senior Grayson Tarman showing Mr. James cleaning the halls along with a GoFundMe aiming to help James continue to live comfortably. Raising $10,000 in 12 hours of most of the donations came from students. It's crazy to see something that we knew people would have wanted to help, said senior student Marty Yuski, but we didn't know it would blow up. Overall, donations reached over $270,000 that came over all over the country and even beyond, wishing the short-term janitor a happy retirement and congratulating the students for their brilliant idea. Now turning to animal interest news. When Beth Doman arrived home one night, she was greeted by a strange sound coming from her fireplace, with soot coming down the chimney. Beth wondered if it was a rodent and approached the fireplace to investigate. Then all of a sudden, this explosion of feathers came into the fireplace, Beth says. It was an owl that flew over the fireplace grate and into the living room. It was on my couch and stared at me, Beth laughs. You don't expect an owl to come down your chimney, Beth says. So I was a bit in shock for a minute, worried for the bird's well-being. Beth reassures the owl and gestures to the open door. But the owl, who Beth lovingly named Barry, wouldn't leave. Formally, after another 20 minutes, Barry bolted beyond Beth's front door and back into the wild. Beth decided to express her thoughts and feelings about Barry by putting paint to paper. Owls have a lot of meaning in different cultures, and Beth says sometimes they can be harbingers of doom, other times they are a blessing. Perhaps because she's been painting watercolors of birds for years, Beth says Mary's visit very much felt like a blessing. I feel really special that he chose my chimney to fall down, Beth smiles, and I got to have such a close experience with a wild animal. Beth also got to illustrate how this story ends by painting a portrait of Barry perched happily on a branch in the wild. You can also see the owl looking over his shoulder, having delivered magical inspiration. This is Josh Show reporting for UConnect. That's it for me. Now send it back to you, Aiden.
Wow, guys. Can I just say all three news were absolutely amazing? The first one is outstanding. 3 hours, guys, because most times with CPR, it's usually an hour to 2 hours and then usually they stop. But they kept pushing forward to keep them alive, and that is the amount of dedication is something to be greatly kind of just like give them a thumbs up. They really need to, we need to recognize that amount of work. And Just imagine being 80 years old to make money that you would need to become a janitor at 80 years old. But you know what? When you work together as a team, you can make a difference. So it's very important that we do that. And also, can I just talk about the owl sneak attack? If an owl appeared out of my chimney, I'd pretty darn scared. I'd be like, why is there an owl in my gosh darn chimney? What in the world is going on? But honestly, though, amazing news. Now, Kevin, and of course you, Jeff, what did you guys think of Joshua's news?
The
For me, the
CPR
owl.
story is a good one.
For me, the
Which
owl
one?
is.
The CPR story, the 3 hour.
Yeah, the CPR story was amazing, and I agree with you, Jeff. The owl, I don't know about you though, because I feel like if I saw an owl in my chimney, I'd be pretty darn scared.
You can expect Santa to come down the chimney, but an owl, that's more creepy.
Yeah,
very
it is
true, very
creepy,
true.
but it's painting. It's the painting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for your news. And now it is time to move to our third gaming news. Hope you guys are excited for this one because this one's going to be quite cool. So, we got our board game of the week. It's similar to our video game of the week, but it is going to be a board game, not a video game. So, don't be too disappointed. But we always have to tackle it because you know what? Board games are just as much fun as video games. And today's board game of the week is Scythe. Now, what is Scythe? In a time of unrest in the 1920s Europa, the ashes from the First Great War still darkened the snow. The capitalistic city-state, simply known as the Factory, which fueled the war with heavily armored mechs, has closed its doors, drawing the attention of several nearby countries. So Scythe is an engine-building game set in an alternate history 1920s period. It is a time of farming and war, broken hearts and rusted gears, innovation and valor. In Scythe, each player represents a character from one of the 5 factions of Eastern Europe who are attempting to earn their fortune and claim their faction's stake in the land around the mysterious factory. It's a pretty interesting game, and every part of Scythe has an aspect of engine building to it. Players can upgrade actions to become more efficient, build structures that improve their position on the map, enlist new recruits to enhance character abilities, and so much more. I love an alternate reality board game. Sounds pretty interesting to me. And I always choose the board games that are a bit weird and wacky. But you know what? This sounds like a lot of story for a board game. But you know what? It looks like a ton of fun to play. If I ever check it out, I will make sure to tell you guys about it. And if you have any board games that you would like to share, make sure to like and comment so that I can learn a little bit more about the board games that you want to share. And if you're lucky, you might see it on Use Connect. Now, I have something prepared for you guys, so don't you worry. And I have an amazing podcast that I want to share with you because obviously, since the brass is not here, we have to always have each other's backs. And trust you me, I got some podcast news. And here is a podcast that I think that you should check out. Today's podcast is You're Wrong About. What am I wrong about? What am I wrong about putting my socks on the right way? No. Now, on this podcast, host Sarah Marshall digs deep into the stories that you think you know everything about. The topics here are ranging from myth-busting the cancel culture panic to stories about some of the pop culture's most misunderstood figures, including Princess Diana, Courtney Love, and Anna Nicole Smith. You can also listen to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other streaming platforms. Now, I love the name You're Wrong About, and it tackles some of the most interesting and kind of the stuff that you think you know everything about. She'll tackle video games, she'll tackle pop culture, she'll tackle anything. And you know what? It kind of has this story aspect to it, but it is still pretty cool podcast that I think you should check out. Again, the podcast name is called You're Wrong About. What are you wrong about? You'll have to check out each episode to learn what you're wrong about. And trust you me, I saw one of these episodes and they definitely blew my mind on something that I thought I knew everything about. So the name doesn't lie. Trust you me. Now, I'm just going to say this though. Now, you, Kevin, and you, Joshua, what do you think about that podcast? Do you think you would check out this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, the podcast news is better. Like the part.
You know what? It's going to be pretty cool to check out. And if anybody does check out the podcast, make sure to tell us how you think of it. Because you know what? I always love listening to podcasts in my spare time. So it's going to be pretty cool to check out if you ever do. Because I had a lot of fun checking it out. And I bet you will as well. Now, guys, I hope you guys are ready to rumble. And I hope you're ready to learn about a brand new song from our live musician, Jeffrey.
Hi everybody, this is Jeffrey, your live musician, and I'm going to be playing a new original song called A New Love. And yes, it's a love song, but I'm also going to put a little bit of twist into it, because you know how much I love having people dancing to my music, so here we go. Enjoy. New love is like a sunrise over the ocean in spring. Firelight brings light to the darkness, make my heart sing. Open your eyes and you will see brand new beginning for you and me. Sail across the ocean, there's a chance to be free. Please say you agree. Join me on a journey to discover who we are. In the arms of a lover, we don't know how far. Let me hold your hand, let me hold you in my arms and shield you from this pain. There'll be lots of lovers, trials and droplets of rain. So open your eyes and you will see new beginning for you and me. Sail across the ocean, there's a chance to be free. We say you agree. Just let go of the past. Don't think or worry or risk the pain. Just let it take a chance and risk you from the pain. I will say it once again, because this is you and me. It's our chance to be free. Will it be so? Open your eyes and you will see a new beginning for you and me. This is our chance to be free. Please say you agree. Just let go of the past. Don't think or worry if it will last. Take take a chance and risk it from this pain. Because this is you and me. This is our chance to be free. So open your eyes and you will see a new beginning for you and me. This is our chance to be free. Please say you agree. Open your eyes and you will see a new beginning for you and me. We sail across the ocean. This is our chance to be free. We say you agree. You agree. You agree. You agree. Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. I see you all next week. It's back to you, Aiden. Bye, everyone.
Absolutely awesome, guys. You know what? That song about love, you know what? It was inspired by somebody that I really admire. And you know what? You might not understand love. You know what? I didn't understand it fully. But you know what? Slowly but surely, if you're going to meet someone that you're going to really, really like. And you know what? They're going to inspire you to do many amazing things. Anyways, though, this has been the end of our episode of Youth Connect. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for your live music. You always do such an amazing job. And honestly, it's just awesome to hear any new song that you come up with. If you liked Youth Connect, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, guys, we will see you all next week. Have a great weekend, guys, and make sure, please stay warm. It's going to be cold. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Catch you later.